Man, we're back already? Weren't we just here? Weren't we just here a few hours ago? It seems like it.
Yeah.
What's going on, LBHT crew? B, what's up, man?
What's going on, Jose?
You know, another Wednesday, another lovely Wednesday, hump day. Hope everybody's week is going great, fantastic. All right, and if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. All right, we got a lot to talk about today. I love weeks like this week, man, where there's too much to talk about. We're not even gonna get to everything, man. What's
up,
going on,
Hendo?
Tony Hendo? Shout out to Tony Hendo for signing up to the Patreon. I see you. Tony said he wants the coin. He wants the coin and the championship belt that we're giving out for the winner of our fantasy football league. If you want a shot at that championship belt, it's gonna look lovely. It's gonna look nice. You can sign up right above me. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. Tough Puppy, what's going on? Appreciate you coming through.
And what's up, Jonathan Washington? How you doing?
Jonathan Washington, what's going on? Okay, look. They ready. They ready to talk some Ravens. I know you guys been waiting. You've been waiting to talk some Ravens. And we're going to talk a little bit of Ravens. We're going to talk about the rookies coming in. They reported the training camp today. And we'll discuss our expectations of the rookies and, you know, what we predict they're going to do this season. And, you know, we got Coach Prime. Okay. Coach Prime. You're going to put some respect.
We got a Deion Sanders story.
Yeah, we got a Coach Deion Sanders story to discuss. We got Aaron Rodgers saying, money? What you know about money, girl? I don't need no money. I need respect. All right.
What's up,
and I'm gonna tease this out right now. I didn't put it in the description. This is a teaser. This is gonna be a bonus. Shannon Sharp. Was he right? Oh, we gonna find out. We gonna talk about that. What was he right about though?
And Raven, Giannis didn't overcome the super team so much as their health did, but that's all right. That's
okay. That'll be in bonus time. We'll discuss that too.
What's going on, Tanja?
Tanja, what's going on? Shout out to Tanja. Appreciate you coming through. Garnett West is in the house. What's going on, Garnett?
Garnett?
So we got a lot to talk about, obviously. And before we start every show, we like to start it with a little Black History fact. And B has a Black History fact for you.
Yeah, so last week we kind of talked about Buffalo Soldiers, where that term originated from, and a little bit of history about that group of just African-American soldiers within the U.S. military. And I said last week that it would connect to what we're talking about tonight. There was a story about them visiting Bisbee, Arizona, for a kind of a military parade. They wanted to celebrate the military, but it was a sundown town. And so some violence went down. And that happened in 1919, which was also known as the Red Summer. And the reason that it's known as the Red Summer is World War I ended in 1918. Obviously, a huge conflict, a world war, right? It's in the name. But 380,000 African Americans took part in that war, fighting for the U.S. The government had put out a call for everyone to go and defend democracy. So like I said, 380,000 African Americans took up that call, went, defended democracy. And then when they came home, it wasn't so much of a hero's welcome as it was, hey, why are you wearing your uniform around here? You think you're better than you are, and we're going to put you in your place.
Right.
This is something that went on from, early 1919 through about November 1919, all across the country. There were about 25 different riots, 97 recorded lynchings. So, obviously probably more than that, but 97 on record. There was a massacre over a few days in a town called Elaine, Arkansas, where over 200 men, women, and children, black men, women, and children were murdered for they were sharecroppers and they were trying to organize. And all this happened as a result of, white Americans being afraid that black people were coming back from the war and thinking, you know what, we should fight for more at home, more in this society. We shouldn't take this kind of treatment. It led to veterans, when they came back home, were having to kind of safeguard their towns. You had, people getting up on roofs with sniper rifles. They were building barricades around, majority black towns to protect the people, because there were white people all over the country who were targeting veterans. I mean, it wasn't just veterans, but a lot of these attacks were centered on veterans. Right. And it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't just veterans. It wasn't just them coming back from the war. It was also, this is around the time of the Great Migration was really getting going. By the end of 1919, about 1 million black people had moved from the South up north into cities. The black population in Chicago grew by 148%. In Philadelphia, it grew by 500%. And, you had a lot of talk from, the people who were there already about, these people coming in, they're going to take our jobs and, take the houses and all this stuff. A lot of the economic anxiety that, the kind of arguments that get thrown around for people of color even to this day.
Right.
And so, I just wanted to point that out for people who maybe didn't know about that, because it's not part of our history that's really taught. If you want to learn more about what happened in Elaine, what happened in Chicago and DC, the riots that happened later in the year there, you can just go on Google and Google Red Summer 1919, and you'll find a lot of information on it.
There you go. All right. That's a great Black History fact right there. And Garnett appreciates it, man. He says, I would like to thank you, brothers, for all the great knowledge you guys share at the beginning of every show. Appreciate you, Garnett.
Thank you, Garnett.
Derek Wesley says, what up, crew? Preach them facts, B. Truth ain't got to be pretty, but truth be truth.
That's right, Derek.
There you go. Oh, our man Noah's in the house. What's going on, Noah? So, what's up, fellas? Just wanted to drop by and say hello to the LBHT crew. Okay.
What's up, Noah?
Tough. This is very important message here. Everyone, like up the stream. Hit that like button, man. Hit that like button. I know you guys. Oh man, emphasis is here. Oh, wow. Go ahead. You got that. Go ahead. Emphasis. What's up, LBHT crew?
What's up, man? Thanks for coming through.
Yeah, man. Okay. All right. Let's get into it, because we got a lot to talk about here. We have a lot to talk about.
Hang on. One more. Raven Ron says, a few years ago in the Army, I supported current 810 Cavalry Buffalo Soldiers regiment, giving them radio and satellite communications. That's awesome, Ron.
That's what's up, man. Respect to you, Raven Ron. Okay, that's what's up. Another veteran in here. All right, guys, let's just start it off, man. Training camp is around the corner. We're almost back to football season, man. First of all, man, I want to shout out you guys for hanging out with us in the off season. Me and B don't like to talk about a lot of top 10 lists and all that stuff. And, if that's your thing, that's cool. A lot of Ravens channels and just other channels in general like doing that stuff. Top 10 lists, who's the best this, who's that, predictions and all that. I mean, we like it to a certain extent, but we like to cover stories that are going on now in other sports. Obviously,
Right.
You've been rocking with us. We cover NBA, UFC, boxing, all that stuff, and you guys have really been supporting us. So thank you on that.
Yeah.
But the football season is here. Jonathan Washington, what's going on?
Washington as well. I really appreciate how you guys make it a point to give us Black History Fact every show. Keep up the great work. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we appreciate you. But look, this season, it's like a holiday season. Okay. This is like Christmas Eve. Okay, training camp is coming. We're gonna be covering all the training camp stuff. So today, rookies report.
What's up, Mr. J? Thanks.
What's going on, Mr. J the Sixth? Appreciate you coming through. But the rookies report today, right? It's today. They reported.
I believe they actually reported yesterday.
Yesterday,
for the Ravens.
Okay, and they already started working them out. Two people. Well, they didn't say it, but they're on the non-football injury list. Jacob Breland and Ben Cleveland, they failed a conditioning test, and there's no surprise there. It happens it happens every year to a couple people,
Right.
Even veterans.
I think the Ravens kind of, like the staff, take that as kind of a badge of honor. Fail that test every year.
And it's so funny because in our lifetime we saw somebody fail it over in Washington. What was his name? Albert Hainsworth. And I remember the media crushed this man for failing a conditioning test, something that everybody fails at some point in their career. It's just funny now. It's just like, well, yeah, it's expected. Somebody's going to fail it, right? So no big deal there. But we just wanted to discuss, the incoming rookie class. We are going to kind of break down position battles, or what we predict will be camp battles later on. You'll have to check out our weekend show. Yes, we have a weekend show. What? What? When did that happen? It happened a couple weeks ago. But you got to go right here to get it. Okay. We've been giving you guys a few clips. Okay. We've been clipping a little bit of the show and putting it out there so you guys can kind of see what we discuss. But we'll get more into that. And, if you don't want to sign up for Patreon, you'll still get a little bit of what we talk about there. But if you want to see the whole thing, right there. Okay. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. You can get the whole thing. But today we're going to discuss, look, we discussed the rookie class, and we kind of want to give our predictions, and we want to get your guys' opinion on what you think this class is going to do. All right.
Right. So for Baltimore, I'll just run through the draft class real quick to give everybody, a little reminder of everybody, because it's been a couple months now.
And what's up, Ferris?
Rashad Bateman and Odafe Owe in round 1. Ben Baltimore in round 3. Brandon Stevens also in round 3. Tylan Wallace, the wide receiver, in round 4. Sean Wade out of Ohio State in round 5, along with Dalen Hayes, the edge rusher out of Notre Dame. They picked up Ben Mason, the fullback, in round, I believe it was round 6. Oh, no, also round 5. And that was it.
Yeah.
So that's the class. All
right. So obviously we'll start with the number 1 picks. All right, Rashad Bateman. What are we expecting from Rashad Bateman, guys?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm expecting is no camp battle at all for Rashad Bateman. He's going to walk into a starting role.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the wide receiver, we're kind of giving away a little bit of what we're going to discuss on the weekend, but I don't think there's any real battles with the starters at wide receiver. You got Rashad Bateman, you got Sammy Watkins, if he's healthy, right? Asterisk, right? if he's healthy on the outside, and I think Hollywood plays the slot. Those are going to be your 3 starters. And the question is, what's Rashad Bateman going to do? What's he going to give you as a rookie? Now, I understand, times are changing. Rookies, perform a little bit more. It's more of a passing league, but typically you shouldn't expect too much from your rookie wide receivers.
Yeah.
Right. Solid production, but not great production. Just Alo's in the house. What's going on? He says 700 yards and 16 yards per catch from Bateman. Okay. Garnett says 65 receptions, 784 yards, 9 touchdowns. That's really good.
That's ambitious.
Well, that's close to what Hollywood had. Didn't Hollywood have that?
Yeah, but Hollywood's still here. Not in his rookie year. He was around 500 in his rookie year because he missed a lot of time.
How many touchdowns? He had a few touchdowns.
He had, I want to say it was 7 touchdowns his rookie year, I believe.
Okay.
But in terms of the yards, he didn't get there because he missed some time.
True.
For me, I think that Rashad Bateman, if they increase the pass attempts a little bit, which I kind of expect them to, I think that he can settle into that 600, 650 range. I would expect him to get over 5 touchdowns. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to agree somewhat with just Alo and Garnett, and I'm going to say 8 touchdowns for Rashad this year.
Okay.
600 yards, 8 touchdowns, right thereabouts.
Ferris thinks 1,000 yards. Look, in today's NFL, that wouldn't surprise me. For this team, it would surprise me a little bit. Because I think Hollywood is going to have a breakout year. Hollywood's been playing really well for us. It kind of gets downplayed, but he's been playing really well for us. I think this year he'll go over 1,000 yards. I'm leaning towards like 1,100, and I think he's going to get double-digit touchdowns.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of context missing with Hollywood, right? We kind of thought he was going to have a breakout year last year, and he came in with around 700 yards or so.
Yeah.
But it's a team that doesn't throw the ball very much at all. It's hard to put up really big numbers in Baltimore's passing offense just because they don't have the volume. But I do think, particularly last year, he had a couple games where he kind of struggled with drops, and then he finished really, really strong.
Yeah.
And obviously, he played well in the playoffs.
Yeah, and from what we can tell, he puts in a lot of work in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
His cousin's one of the best wide receivers in the league, and I think he learns a lot from his cousin, and he kind of develops his work habit off of that. And him and Lamar are they seem like they're really close. So I think that that's going to show on the field this year. I really think Hollywood's going to blow up. Now I do think they're going to pass a little bit more this year because look, man, that coaching staff, jobs are on the line. Like they have to perform. Lamar's about to get paid a lot of money, and that's got to show on the field. So I think they are going to pass a little bit more. They'll be a little bit more aggressive. There'll be some more opportunities. But the question is Rashad Bateman going to benefit from that, or is it going to be Sammy Watkins? Sammy Watkins is more experienced, and Sammy Watkins is still young. People look at Sammy Watkins like he's old. He's only like 26 years old, right? Or 27 or something like that. He's young. His thing is if he stays healthy, he could blow up, right? He could blow up. We kind of downplay that.
He's incredibly talented. Talented. He's had a lot of injury problems. And look, I don't know him personally, obviously, but I feel like there's a little bit of motivation problem there as well. Like, I mean, maybe not even motivation, but football may not be the most important thing to him. Yeah. Sort of like a Kyrie Irving kind of thing. Not that he's a bad teammate or anything, but just, it doesn't seem like, he's all football all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think if he's locked in and he manages to stay healthy, he'll have a huge year.
Ferris says Sammy's 26, but his legs are 75.
It's not nice. It's not nice. So moving on to, I know your favorite pick, Odafe Owe.
Okay. Before we get to that, let's read a couple of comments. Garnett West, not to be disrespectful, but Andrews can't teach Bateman how to get open. Who Andrews and Bateman, they don't even play the same position. Bateman can't get open. Bateman can't get open all by himself. Yeah. Look, that's why we brought in Keith Williams and
Don C. Thanks for coming through.
What's up, Don C? Appreciate you coming through, man. But that's why we brought in those coaches, right, to develop these wide receivers, and you've seen videos of them working out with them. So that's where I expect the development to happen for Bateman.
What's up, King Apugo?
Apugo says 75 catches, 1,050 yards. Okay. All right. These are all, I like these numbers. I don't think he'll quite hit 1,000. I think around 700 to 800. But like I said, for all these guys, any of these guys go over 1,000, it will not surprise me. It will surprise me if all three of them go over 1,000.
Yeah.
All right.
It would surprise me if two of them went over.
Yeah, it probably. But if one goes over 1,000, which I think is going to be Hollywood, and the other two get around 700-800 yards, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Derek coming off the top rope, over under on Andrews' touchdown drops. I'm going to put the over under on that at 3.5.
What? Man, you don't think he's going to get any better?
No, I think he's going to continue to drop big time, have drops in big moments. Listen, I think it's just kind of in him.
This is a big year for everybody, man. People are trying to get paid. Andrews ain't no different. He trying to get paid. I'm going to say one. I'll give him one. Okay. He's going to step up this year. All right. Them boys going to eat with players selling out for the run. That's going to leave Hollywood open and Andrews open. Yes. These guys are going to get wide open. Sammy Watkins on single coverage. Yes, please. Rashad Bateman in single coverage. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Hollywood single coverage. Yes, please. Yes. Yeah. We're going to have a lot of opportunities. You're absolutely right, Tanja. Okay.
Working hard to avoid Owe talk.
Odafe Owe. Your boy, my boy. I want to see what the chat says. What do y'all think about Odafe Owe? Now, you guys were really on me calling me a hater. I'm not a hater. I call it like I see it. He said he's going to have 5 sacks, 14 tackles for loss, 15 almost got him sacks. I think that's
okay.
I'll be happy with that in his rookie year. Whether he turns into a good player or a dominant player or not, it's not going to happen in his first year. I don't think so. So I just don't see him playing that much. He might be in that rotational role, but I don't see him getting that much snaps and that much production. So I'm going to say maybe 2 sacks,
Okay. I do think
Few
he's going to
tackles.
play a lot. I don't think that they have. I don't think they have players to keep him on the bench. I mean, it's Tyus Bowser, Pernell McPhee, Sack Daddy, and fellow rookie Dalen
Zach Daddy.
Hayes. I couldn't remember his name, is why I said that. Like
Yeah. Jalen
he's
Ferguson.
irrelevant. There you go, Jalen
Jay
Ferguson.
Ferg. Yeah.
So I do think that he'll get a lot of, not a lot, but he'll get a good number of snaps in rotation. I'm going to put him. I mean, I kind of agree with you. I'm going to put him at 3 sacks, and I think that by midseason, fans are going to be real tired of him in the run game.
So I was just about to get to that, right? For as much as there's a lot of defending going on here, in other places for Oweh, I think we get impatient as fans, right? And when he doesn't produce like you project him to produce 2 or 3 years from now, when he doesn't do it this year, you guys are gonna be saying, "Yo, where is he? How come he's disappearing out there?" Where you're going to get impatient. And yes, he was a reach in the draft. That's not his fault. If he's gonna be anything, it's gonna take him a little time. I'm going to give him a little time. I'll give him like 3 years before you can really say what he's gonna be. I mean, Tyus Bowser took him about 3 years, right? And I thought Tyus Bowser had first round talent.
And he still ain't that good. So
No,
I'm just going to go ahead and lump Dalen Hayes in here since he is also an edge rusher.
Yeah.
I do think Dalen is going to be the more impressive rookie edge rusher for the Ravens this year.
Okay.
I'm going to say that he surprises and gives 6.5 sacks for Baltimore this season.
Wow. He does that. Oweh may not get on the field. This might be a Andrews and Hurst type of situation. If
Maybe.
they both listen, 2 rookies come out and one takes off, right? That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Bowser just got paid. He's not going anywhere. So
yeah.
That could be something where Oweh just might be the odd man out. He might need a development, but he won't develop here. Yeah.
So what do you think on Dalen Hayes then?
I was gonna give similar numbers, like maybe 3, maybe 4 sacks. I think. I mean, he'll be a rotational player. He might get some more snaps than Oweh. He might, because he's a little polished right now. He's a little bit more polished than Oweh right now, I think. Mm-hmm. The finished product, that's something different. What will Oweh be? I expect him to be a better player than Dalen Hayes, but right now, Hayes is probably more ready to get on the field. But I don't think he's going to produce that much more.
Okay.
Because look, we are going to get a veteran edge rusher. I mean, whether it's Justin Houston or whoever, we're going to bring somebody in. They're going to get a lot more snaps. Pernell McPhee, as long as he can stay healthy, will get snaps, and Tyus Bowser will get snaps, and Jalen Ferguson.
You don't have to worry about Pernell McPhee staying healthy. That's not going to happen.
And
it's not like or someone, because the other edge rushers are gone now. It's really just Justin Houston left out there. Melvin Ingram just signed in Pittsburgh, a 1-year deal. So
Zeke is still out there, right?
I mean, in theory, right? Like Zeke is another guy who can't stay healthy. Hasn't really been that productive. Yeah, but I think if they bring in a veteran, it's going to be Justin Houston at this point.
Yeah, I think so too. Honestly, I think they probably already worked that deal out. It's just a matter of when he actually signs and comes in. He's one of those veterans. Like, I don't want any parts of training camp. Just call me when the games start.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what we got here? Always going to be the ultimate disruptor. This year? We talking about this year? What's he going to be in the future? I don't know. The ultimate disruptor. Listen, I mean, maybe, right? You're thinking like the Clowney type, and I think there's a lot of value in that. But that doesn't equate to sacks. And when players don't get enough sacks, I mean, look, there's a reason why Judon's not here. All right, it's not because of the other stuff. Judon did a lot of other things really well. He didn't have the sacks. So, I mean, is that going to be enough for us to say, yeah, we got that pick right and we need to pay him? Because that's ultimately the sign of, we got the right pick. If they make it to that second contract.
Yeah. So the edge rushers kind of taken care of there. We can move on to the offensive line. We skipped over Ben Cleveland to talk about Dalen Hayes a bit. I know that the expectations for Ben Cleveland are through the roof, with the Ravens flock. I know that people are expecting him to come in day one and be the starter and be kind of I don't want to say a dominant player, but I think people are expecting him to come in and play very well right from jump. Do you agree with that?
Ben Cleveland. I don't know, man. It's hard. The guard positions, especially here in Baltimore, like it's hard to predict what they're going to do because typically they get it right, and it's usually with guys we don't know about, right? But sometimes they get it wrong. Ben Powers, Bredesen, and also like I say Ben Powers, but we don't know, man. Like Ben Powers was Ben Cleveland last year. He was that guy that was supposed to take over for Yonda. Everybody felt really good about him, and he was a presumed starter. And then towards the end of camp, we weren't sure if he was even going to make the team. But he didn't make the team, and he did get some playing time, and he's here now. And this is his third year. We're going to his third year. He's got some experience. Hopefully, he's gotten a little bit stronger. He knows the offense better than Cleveland does. So it's not a lot that Ben Cleveland gets that starting job. Ben Powers could just break out and hold on to that job. We really don't know. Fan base is gassing that man up too much that I need an extra tank. Yeah, I kind of feel that way, man. I kind of feel that way. I mean, yes, he's ripped. He looks the part, and he played well in college. He did play well in college, but he's a rookie competing with other grown men like Ben Bredesen, Ben Powers, Tyree Phillips. These aren't little guys. These are all massive human beings.
Former Panther Michael Schofield.
Yeah. So I mean, like these are you're talking about four guys competing for one spot because Zeitler is taking over the was he playing the right side? Yeah. So he's got that spot locked up. We assume. So I mean, the competition is going to be thick, and you have guys that have multiple years of experience competing with this rookie. Is he going to win out that battle? I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what. The answer is yes.
Okay.
Ben Cleveland looks the part, and I think he is going to play the part as well. Like, I think he's going to come in. I think he's going to win that left guard spot. Right. I'm not saying he's going to be a dominant player, and there won't be
I hope he is. Yeah.
Obviously he's a rookie. He's going to be up and down, but I do think that he comes in, wins that job, and I think he holds it for the whole season.
That would be great, man. I mean, whoever does, I hope they hold it. I hope they play well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't say for sure, man. That one I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because did they get all those other guys wrong?
I don't think that they got. I think they got Tyree Phillips wrong a little bit, but I think at this point they're kind of looking at him as a backup, like a versatile backup. He can be a backup right tackle. He can back up both the guard spots. Ben Bredesen.
Wait, hold on a second.
No, we'll see.
Ferris. He's ours now. He's a Raven. Should be a fight for a center too. The center position, man.
Well, but here's the thing with we're going to talk about this on our member stream.
Yes,
but fight with who, right? They don't really have anybody to fight with at center. Yeah. So let's move on to the secondary real quick. Brandon Stevens and Shaun Wade. What kind of expectations do you have for those guys this season? Brandon Stevens, the 3rd round pick out of SMU, kind of a project like Owe. Shaun Wade, he was a starter at OSU, Ohio State, for a couple of years. He ended his career on a down note, right? He switched positions and ended his career kind of rough. So he dropped to the 5th round. I know a lot of Ravens fans were high on him as well.
Well, I look, this might be a hot take for some of you guys. It shouldn't be a hot take. One of these guys are going to get cut. One of them is getting cut. He's just not going to make the team.
I'll tell you what, it ain't going to be Brandon Stevens. You ain't cutting a 3rd round pick.
Yeah, okay, there might be Shaun Wade. Yeah, I think he'll just get cut. And Stevens won't make the field really, and he'll have to really make it on the field as a special teamer.
What's up, Mikey? Thanks for coming through.
What's going on, Mikey?
You're getting smoked on the outside. Okay.
Yeah, I just we're stacked at that position, and we got Tavon Young coming back. We got Avery
Yeah.
Everett's coming back too, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's too many DBs coming back. I just don't see Stevens. Stevens is raw. I don't see him making the field at all.
So yeah, I agree with you. I don't think Stevens has much of a role this season, and I think Sean Wade. I think they try to stash him on the practice squad for the season. They are incredibly deep at corner. They're the best secondary in the league.
Yeah, and King Opugo says if Stevens is just a special teamer, we reached on him. We did reach on him. Who's he going to beat out? Who would you say he's going to beat out for playing time? If everybody's healthy, I don't see him beating out anybody.
Garnett is he's a bit of a future teller here, a fortune teller, because yes, Ben Mason is not making the team.
No, he's not making the team.
I know everybody loved that pick. Everybody loves fullbacks. He is going to the practice squad. He'll be lucky to land on the practice squad, I think.
Yeah. This is another thing we should have let off with too. We did this on our audio podcast before we even came to video. Maybe we did do a video. I can't remember. Last year we said, look, each team on average is only going to, you might hit on like three, maybe four if you're lucky of your draft picks, but that's it. All right, it's about 30. It's like 30 to 40% you hit on draft picks. That's if you had a good draft. So, how many Marshall?
Wrong one.
Oh.
Corey Sean Wade will probably get the Phantom IR designation. Another yes. Ravens tradition like no other.
That's true. But we had how many picks in this draft? Nine or 10. So you're looking at 3 or 4 players that are going to stick. So which 4 are you going to pick?
8 picks.
8 picks. Okay, so you're talking about 2 or 3. All right, that are really going to stick. Mm-hmm. Not all of them going to get cut, but like the ones that are really going to work out. Let's say 3. Which 3 do you pick to really work out for this team? Bateman, obviously, everybody's going to pick Bateman. Who are your next 2? Ben Cleveland. I know a lot of you going to say Ben Cleveland. Mm-hmm. So who's your third guy?
Dalen Hayes.
Okay.
And listen, we're not saying that all the rest of them are going to be busts. Like I think Tylan Wallace will be fine. I don't think he's going to be any kind of a great receiver. I think he's a depth receiver, and he'll perform fine in that role. But I do think that Dalen Hayes is going to outperform his draft position. Not that he's going to be a great pass rusher, but he's going to be better than you expect in the 5th round. I think Ben Cleveland is going to outperform his 3rd round draft position, right? And I think Rashad Bateman will be, obviously you can't really outperform the 1st round, but I think he'll be what you expect there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we didn't get to Tylan Wallace either. Tylan Wallace, that kind of leads into this weekend in position battles.
Yeah,
but
I kind of want to save that one for the member thing. But like I said, I do think that he'll
get on the field.
Yeah, he'll get on the field, and I think over his career, he won't be a disappointment. We'll put it that way. He'll be a productive receiver for Baltimore.
All right, I see some people saying Wade is staying. He's staying on the team. So how many DBs? I guess we got to ask this. How many DBs are we keeping on an active roster? Mm-hmm. Let's take a look at them. Obviously, we got Marlon Humphreys, MP Juice Man, and we got Jimmy Smith, Tavon Young. We got Anthony Averett.
Mm-hmm.
Imam Marshall. That's 6. So Raven Ron says 6 DBs. Well, I just named 6. Which one of those DBs is and then we got Stevens, who's not getting cut. He's a 3rd round pick. We're not cutting a 3rd round pick. Right. So that's 7 right there. Mm-hmm. Where does Wade fit in? We keeping 8 DBs. Sancho Max is 10. Okay. Well, yeah. What the safeties? Yeah. 6 corners, 4 safeties.
And I know a lot of you would say Ardarius Washington, will stick, right? Mm-hmm. So that would be because
that safety,
Deshaun Elliott, Ardarius Washington, and then one other. Yeah, possibly.
Okay. Huh. But I mean, Wade doesn't play safety though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for Wade to make the team just because of the numbers game. I think they're going to try and stash him on the practice squad. And then, like people are saying, I mean, you can't really at this point be confident that Tavon Young or Jimmy Smith will play all season. I mean, honestly, we're switching to 17 games. You shouldn't be confident that anybody is going to play all 17 games.
True.
Just to the nature of football. So I think they'll try to sneak him onto the practice squad and they'll call him up. And again, not even saying that Shaun Wade's going to be bad. I think the Ravens have a great secondary.
Yeah.
It's just going to be really difficult to break in.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm still pulling for Nigel Warrior.
So Mikey and Garnett say, Nigel Warrior. Mikey and Garnett both are saying that Brandon Stevens was drafted as a safety. I don't remember him being drafted as a
potentially. I mean, he was drafted as a project, so they'll have to see, right?
Yeah, because he started as a running back, right?
I thought it was wide receiver, but maybe running back.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, tough to say the same thing. Stevens will be safety, not a CB. We'll see if he's any one of those things. He might be cut.
Because again, we recognize that that's kind of the plan that people think is going down there, but he's not currently a safety, right? And he's not currently much of a corner. So we'll see. But he is taking up a roster spot. He's not getting cut. Not this year.
Yeah. So Wade, I mean, even if you want to give him the safety position, if you want to say Stevens is going to be a safety, man, I mean, we still name like 7 other DBs, right? Wade wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, or corners, I should say. 7 other corners. All those guys we named were corners, not safeties. So, I don't know. That's going to be tough for Wade. Wade's going to have to really ball out.
Yeah.
Or, I honestly think Wade is one of those moves just in case somebody gets hurt.
Right, because like I said, you can't count on Tavon Young or Jimmy Smith making it through the full season.
Right.
And, you don't want to be, going out looking on the street to get a replacement mid-season.
Yeah.
So you hope, you put them on the practice squad, hope you can keep them there. I'm not sure if they're going to be doing the thing again where they allow you to protect practice squad players. But if so, you put them there, protect them every week, and then you can call them up when you need them.
And Tanja, I feel you, right? Tanja saying, hey, Tavon and Jimmy, they stay hurt. So we keeping them, right? I hear you. So how do you feel about the wide receiver position? How you feel about the guard position? Like, we can't keep everybody.
Yeah.
So, running backs, how do you feel about these positions that have, we got a lot of wide receivers, and I know a good chunk of you think Prochet is going to make the team. So who's leaving? Cap needs to get the boot. I don't know, man. I don't know. I do like these stack positions for some competition, right? Because not everybody's gonna make it. I do like that. This is a critical year. This is a critical year. This Ravens organization understands they have to win, right? Jobs are on the line. There's a lot of eyes on them. There's a lot of expectation, despite what you hear in the media or anything like that. This organization has a lot of expectations, and I think they're doing whatever they can to make sure the best players get on that field.
Yeah. So we are about 40 minutes in. I feel like we should save the Panthers for the members stream.
Yes.
And hop into some Deion Sanders.
Okay. All right. We got to talk some Coach Prime. But before we get into that, I just want you guys to know. All right. We got 36 people in here, man. Appreciate y'all coming through. If you are new, go ahead, hit that like button. And, you like our content, hit the subscribe button, man. We're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And we usually put out 1 or 2 videos on top of that during the week. If you're a regular here, thank you very much. And you want to support the show because we're trying to do big things over here. There are 3 ways to support the show. 3 ways. The first way is right above me, patreon.com/LBHT Show. We got 2 tiers, $3 tier and $10 tier. We did a little shuffling around with the benefits of the tiers. We grandfathered some guys in. We were giving away a lot of stuff. So starting really soon.
In the $3 tier right now, you're going to get access to our overtime show, which is every week after our live show.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun. We have guys in there every week. We bring some of the patrons on screen and like I said, just talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Doesn't
Yes.
not not even necessarily sports related, just anything that comes up.
Anything.
And again, that's also going to get you access to our NFL Survivor pool that we're going to be running, and we'll be giving out a trophy for whoever wins that. If you don't know what a Survivor pool is, it's you make picks every week. You pick one game every week. You're only allowed to pick a team one time during the course of the season, and whoever survives the longest without their pick losing is the winner.
Yeah. So that's one thing. So that's $3 tier. Both tiers get that, and the $10 tier for a limited, and it's limited, man. We keep saying limited, but man, we're running out. Okay, we're running out of these coins. You guys love these coins. You really love these coins. So for the $10 tier, if I can get my screen to focus a little bit, all right, that's a nice. It looks better in person. Trust me, it looks better in person. We got 3 left, I believe, and then once they're gone, they're gone. We got something else in store for you guys, but those things, man, they sold a lot faster than I thought they would sell, man. Really appreciate you guys for supporting. So that's one way to support. Second way, right above B, $ LBHT Show. Oh, see, now you messing up. Oh, B
right.
messed up.
That's all right.
$ LBHT Show. We don't do super chats over here. That is our super chat, right? So if you want to highlight a comment, what you do is go to Cash App, leave a donation, leave your comment, and we will read it on air. Okay. And I just want to tell you guys, that love to go on super chats. I know it's convenient. I know, you get to see your comment highlighted across the chat screen. We're working on that. That's one. We're working on the graphics. So if you donate on PayPal, Cash App, we didn't even do the Streamlabs, did we?
We did not mention it, no, but we do have a Streamlabs tip page as well. We just started it last week. Let me go ahead and pull up the link and put that in the chat.
Put that in there, and I'll pin it. So that's, we got all kinds of ways that you can donate that way. In the future, we'll be able to put your comment on the screen, kind of like a super chat. But this is better than super chat. Okay, super chats after a while they go away. So if we're doing, we're in the middle talking about something and we can't get to the super chat, it runs out. People get mad about that. I would get mad too. I'm paying money for it. But this way, your comment never goes away. Okay, so if we take a lot of time discussing a topic, don't be afraid of us missing your comment. It will always be there. Okay, and we will get to it. Okay, the third way. Let me bring that up right now.
There we go.
All right, right below me. LBHTShow.com.
Mikey, you said it, not us.
Yeah, well, Super Robert, yes. Well, look, we're not going to sugarcoat it. YouTube be taking that super chat, boy. Look, you guys donate to us. You don't donate to YouTube, okay? When you're giving, when somebody sends $10, you don't want 4 of that going to YouTube. You want it to go to the creator. So, I mean, look, yeah, we're going to avoid that. I mean, we're not even eligible yet, but we're getting close to being eligible. But we're not gonna. We're going to keep that option closed. Okay, that's better for everybody. Trust me. You'll be fine with it. But yes, LBHTshow.com/shop. Okay, let's give you a quick rundown. Don't worry, we're getting back to the stories in a minute. We're getting back to the stories for a minute. This is our commercial spot right here. Okay, we gotta promote our stuff. Look at that mug. Look at that. Oh, doesn't that look good? You like that water bottle right there? You like that? Let's see here. Got the 3/4 shirt. I'm gonna wear that on show one of these days. I got it sitting over there. I got all my stuff over there in the corner. All right, the guys in here that want to show the guns and gals. Okay, Tanja you want to show off some guns? Okay, you want your man to show off some guns? There you go, right there. All right, there we go. You look, working out. Speaking of guns, you can't forget the legs. You got the shorts right there. All right. So all kinds of stuff. Go over there, check it out. See if there's something that you like. The shirt that I'm wearing right now is also from the store. Okay. This right here, LBHT Crew. I shout you guys out every show. Go ahead and get one of those. What you looking at, B?
And I just wanted to say we got our first donation via Streamlabs. Thank you very much, Ferris. We appreciate it.
Hey, appreciate you, Ferris. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. See, it's that easy. Did you leave a comment? You didn't even leave a comment, did you, Ferris?
You did not.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you anyway, my friend. So it's that easy, man. And with that, let's get to the next story. What's that say right there? Coach Prime.
Yes, Deion Sanders was acting a fool.
Okay, all right. B, go ahead and tell us why you don't like how Coach Prime handled this interaction for those who don't know.
For people who don't know, Deion was doing an interview, via Zoom or whatever, and the person he was interviewing kind of greeted him and said, "Okay, Deion," and started going into his question, and Deion interrupted him. He said, "Oh, hold on now. You don't call Nick Saban Nick. Don't call me Deion. You can call me Coach. Don't call me Nick." And the guy told him, "Hey, no, I don't call Nick Saban Coach. I call him Nick." And Deion said, "No, you don't. That's a lie. No, you don't. Call me Coach." And so the guy was like, "Okay, Deion." And Deion got up and left. Right. And my thing with the story, with this whole situation is, I mean, just like if you had, told the guy beforehand, and I say this guy because I tried to look up who the reporter was. I did not find it anywhere in the story. But if you told him beforehand, "I prefer to be called Coach," okay. Or if you interrupted him, during the interview and just said, "Hey, man, I prefer to be called Coach. Can you refer to me as Coach?" Fine. And I'm sure the guy would have just called him Coach, and that would have been the end of it. Yeah. But if you're going to be a jerk, then you should expect people to be a jerk to you in return. And in this situation, college football coaches are very powerful. They have a lot of control over the media. They wield their authority, right? They can ban people from press conferences, get their credentials removed, and all this stuff. Deion has more power than this reporter in this situation. Don't abuse it, right? Just say, hey, just be kind, right? Just say, hey, I prefer to be called Coach. If he still wants to call you Deion, then yeah, go ahead and leave. But don't be a jerk about it and then get surprised when he's a jerk back to you.
All right. Before I get into my side of it, okay, we're both presenting our cases. We're on the opposite side a little bit. Tough Puppy, man. Shout out to you, man. He had to head out. Appreciate you coming through. Zeta Beast, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. Living Legend, I see you, man. I see you. Donations. That's right, man. Get them up. Okay. Listen. Yes, he's a diva. All right. I see it. Diva Deion. I see it. Yes, he's a diva. All coaches, I mean, especially in college, are divas. A lot of them are verbally abusive to their players and reporters. And Coach Prime is no different. Now, he didn't verbally abuse the guy. He didn't berate him or anything like that.
No, we should make that clear. Yeah, he wasn't. I say being a jerk because he called him a liar. Yes. And just kind of interrupted. And the way, he didn't ask to be called Coach. He's like, "No, you can't call me that. You call me this." Yes. So, I mean, that was kind of a jerk. He wasn't, it was like other coaches who are really berating people and verbally abusing people. So yes. I want to be clear about that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And
before you get going again, we did just get another donation. Thank you very much, Mikey. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Mikey. Thank you, bro. Yeah. No, he definitely could handle it. I mean, he's got an ego, right? Guys that that have been that successful, been in the spotlight for that long, they have egos. Okay, mm-hmm. I mean, we understand this. It's not the first time you've dealt with somebody like this, and I just feel like as a journalist, like you should know how to handle that situation a little bit better. Okay, you don't like exactly what he said, and the journalist, push back a little bit because Deion was saying some things about him that wasn't, that weren't true. So I agree with that part, but where he lost me was, he went back and decided to call him Deion even after Deion asked him not to call him that, right? Mm-hmm. Just call him by the name. What?
He didn't ask him. And that's the crux of it.
So what? My thing is, so what? Deion doesn't have to be polite, right? You're there to interview. You're there to interview him. He's not there to interview you. So it doesn't matter if he says it in a way you don't like it. Just call him by the name he wants to be called, so you can get just get your question out and keep it moving. He wanted to push back, and maybe it's because Deion called him a liar. But say, look, man, don't call me a liar, right? Like I'm not a liar. And at that point, I could take a side more, but he didn't say that. He was just like, "Okay, Deion," right? Like, and you know what you're doing there. Now, in grand scheme of things, it's no big deal. Both of them handled it. I think both of them handled it wrong. And okay, he just
They were both a little immature about it.
Yeah, for sure. But I just feel like that was the wrong battle to pick, right? Especially for a journalist that nobody knows. We try to find out who it was. We still couldn't find them.
If you ever see this, man, I'm sorry. I looked. I just couldn't.
I looked too.
Nobody said your name.
Me and B, we were arguing about this for about a good 30 minutes before we came on air, and we could not find this guy. But so he was comparing himself to Nick Saban. This brought up another argument.
Wait, hang on one second. I do want to correct myself. Farrah said in the chat that he did actually leave a message, and I just found it. It wasn't in the email, so I found the message. And the message was, hello, check. Mikey also left a message. He said, go Ravens. I don't know why I read that, but okay.
There you go. Go Ravens. Appreciate it, man. Look, you put it in there. We're going to read it, okay? So this brought up another argument. We went down this whole rabbit hole with Deion Sanders, but he compared himself to Nick Saban. And obviously, in terms of coaching, they're not in the same stratosphere. Nick Saban is a legend. Deion is down here, okay? He's just starting out. Will he be a great coach? Maybe, but he's just starting out. He hasn't proven anything at all whatsoever. Now, in terms of notoriety, okay? I don't want to say popularity because we got another argument about the word popularity. Notoriety, how well known they are. Who do you think is more well known, Deion Sanders or Nick Saban?
And while y'all type that up, I'm going to go ahead and put Jonathan's comment on the screen here. Both of them are at fault. Reporters have to stay professional at all times, but in the same instance, forget being a coach or a reporter as a person. If you step to me disrespectful, don't be surprised when I return the same energy. That's true, but also coaches have to be, or in theory, have to be professional as well, right?
Yes. And also another thing about it too is, people have pointed out, Deion Sanders has pointed out before that he wants to be addressed as, Coach Prime or Coach Deion. He wants that coach in front of it, right? He wants that, so it's known that he wants to be called that.
Which is fine, but if you're making that request, it's on you to make sure that people know that. Like, you can't just say, "Hey, I said it on Twitter, so you should know." Like, you get in touch with them and say, "Hey, yeah, we're doing this interview. Just so you know, I prefer to be called Coach."
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Look, there's always a more professional way to handle things, and we don't know all the details from each side. Maybe he did say that before or whatever, right? I don't know. But even if he said it before, you don't gotta be a jerk about it. Say, hey, please, if you don't mind, call me coach, right? You would like to see things handled that way, but that's not how it always works. So Living Legend says Deion. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Mikey says, in terms of recruiting, maybe when you get a 4- and 5-star athlete to a HBCU, that can't go without notice. That is true. I mean, it is an accomplishment, and we are going to be talking about that as well.
But Nick Saban gets like 20 of those guys.
Yes.
But so we're just talking about just overall, not even just in the college football realm, just in general. Who has more notoriety? Who's more well known to people?
Okay, Living Legend saying Deion, Derek saying Deion. I don't see any other answers here. My argument here is that Deion was a superstar athlete, but he was a superstar athlete 20 years ago. And Nick Saban is currently the absolute top of the college football world and has been for quite a while. So anybody who watches sports knows who Nick Saban is because he's constantly being talked about. They're in the biggest games every single year at Alabama. They're in the playoff, they're in the national championship. He's being talked about on ESPN, on all these pregame shows. Whether it's exclusively about college football or not, they're going to be mentioning Nick Saban at some point. And I just don't think, I think that a lot of younger people or non-football fans won't necessarily know who Deion is.
So, and I disagree, right? Obviously, Deion, superstar, Hall of Famer. He was a legend in college, legend in NFL. and we looked it up before we came on. I mean, if you look on YouTube at all his, you type in Deion Sanders highlights, you get videos with millions of views. Even these young kids today know who Deion Sanders is, because if a good corner is coming out of college, he'll get compared to Deion Sanders at some point. So his name's still relevant in college football, and obviously for the NFL, his NFL career. And I mean, he still does commercials to this day. Like, you see him in the Subway commercials. You see him on, what's that tire commercial? Is it Firestone or whatever? Bridgestone. Like you see him. I mean, he's in everything, right? Like you see his face. He's very recognizable. Nick Saban, not so much. Nick Saban is huge in the college realm, but college football is not as popular as the NFL. And Deion is popular in both the college world and the NFL world, and just entertainment. I mean, he's had a reality show as well. He's been in a few movies. So I mean, I think it's not even close. It's Deion Sanders.
Jay says he'll say he knew Nick Saban before he knew Deion, when he started watching football heavily.
Okay.
When a coach in high school is talking to his players about playing to the next level, what school is he going to bring up? That's Alabama. Mm-hmm. I know it was a little bit of a rhetorical question, but I threw the answer out there for you, Garnett. Just Allo said Nick Saban, like he said Nick Saban. He said living legend, saying Deion. Derek saying Deion. So I mean, it's fairly split in here. Ferris says Leon Sandcastle.
Yeah,
can't argue with that.
More NFL fans in college.
College kids dream to play on Sundays, not Saturday.
That's true.
Deion doesn't play on Sunday.
No, but he played on Sunday.
I'm not talking about his notoriety at his peak. I'm talking about right now, today, July 21, 2021.
Yeah, but just because he hasn't played in a while doesn't mean he's not well known. People know who Muhammad Ali is. He's still probably one of the most popular athletes on the face of the planet, right?
Yeah, but Deion was never that. He was never an icon in that way.
No. But he was still. I mean, but compared to Nick Saban, yes.
Because I can say, there were a lot of great players who were really, really popular in their time, had a lot of notoriety, and they retire, and that fades because they're not, they're not in the mind share all the time. And Deion has faded less because, like you said, he does a lot of media. Mm-hmm. But he's still not at the top of anybody's mind. He's not out there, he's not doing it right now, right? Nick Saban is the greatest college football coach in history, and he's doing it right now. He did it at 3 different schools, and they're in, like I said, it was almost 19 million watched the last college football championship game, and that was the low ratings over the previous several years.
Right.
So you have a lot more eyes on what Nick Saban is doing right now.
But yes, but like King Puka said, NFL is more popular than college football. That's great, in the college football realm. But if you're somebody that doesn't watch college football, you really don't know who Nick Saban is, right? But you don't have to watch football to know who Deion Sanders is. He's been in enough things for you to recognize who he is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to disagree because if you don't know Deion Sanders from football, you probably don't recognize him in any of the other stuff he's been in, right? You're not recognizing, like, you may see him in those commercials, right? Mm-hmm. You may see him as a guest somewhere, but you don't know who he is.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's hard to measure these things, right? Mm-hmm. But it's not a great example, but it's the only thing we have to go off of. If you just go on YouTube and just search up Nick Saban and see the views that are on Nick Saban videos versus
it says, like Peter Warwick, right? Like, he was a mega star, but I guarantee you that most people don't know who he is now.
Right. What was he in the NFL though?
He wasn't anything in the NFL. I mean, he was a top 10 pick. I won't say wasn't anything, but I'm just saying that, he was a legend. He was a college football legend, and that fades really fast.
I think that proves further to my point that college football is nowhere near as popular as the NFL, and that's a good example of it. Yeah, you're great in college, but how does that carry over to the NFL if you don't do anything in the NFL? Right? Like, he did it on every level, and I mean, look, 20 years from now, people are still going to know who Tom Brady is. They're still going to know who Peyton Manning is, right? We all know who Brett Favre is. I mean, and he's cuckoo. But we all know. I mean, like we all know who you are. Like when you make it at that level, I mean, we all know who Jerry Rice is. When you become a legend in the NFL, that sticks for a long time, a very long time.
It does, but at the same time, I'm 100% sure there are more people know Odell Beckham than Jerry Rice.
I don't think so.
I absolutely think so. Because every single person who knows Jerry Rice also knows Odell Beckham. And people who started watching football well after Jerry Rice know Odell Beckham, but may not know Jerry Rice.
And those people know Odell Beckham because he's always, when you become great or show signs of greatness, you get compared to Jerry Rice.
Yeah, at times, but it's not a constant thing. Like if you just kind of casually watch football, you know who Odell Beckham is. You may not have heard him compared to Jerry Rice, especially in the last couple of years. That hasn't happened,
right? But he got that popular because he was one of the best wide receivers in the league. And when you reach the top in the league, you start getting those comparisons. How, can he be Jerry Rice level? It's the same thing in basketball, right? Like Michael Jordan. Years from now, when people don't even know what Michael Jordan looks like, you're still going to get that Michael Jordan comparison, right? Like Jerry Rice is standard.
That's for people who are really into it, who are seeking out that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I'm sure that there's a ton of people who know Odell Beckham because he was the cover boy in Madden, and they put in that animation for him, and may not even watch those shows at all.
Yeah,
and none of them know who Jerry Rice is. And it's like that, and that's just my whole thing is just that the notoriety fades, and I don't think it's faded, totally with Deion, obviously.
Right.
It's faded less than with other players, but Nick Saban is at the pinnacle right now of sports.
Well, of college football.
No, of sports. I mean, he's one of the most successful people in sports. Period.
If you poll people, who's more successful, Nick Saban or Bill Belichick, they're gonna say Bill Belichick.
I said one of, not the most.
Okay.
He is the most successful college football coach, but he is one of the most successful people in sports. Period.
Yeah. But man, I mean look, fair or not, our society just looks at pro sports and college sports completely different. Well, I mean, it is fair. I mean, it's supposed to be amateur, right? It's supposed to be amateur. So you got to do it at the pro level.
Yes.
Look, you get no arguments from me. Well, you might get a little pushback from me. It's debatable. But Randy Moss is up there. Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, T.O.
What's up, Suge?
20 years from now.
We all remember who Ferris is. Yes, sir. Living legend is definitely with you on this one.
That's what I'm talking about.
Derek says college football doesn't have international reach. Prime reaches more TVs with one commercial. I don't. Listen.
Thank you.
Maybe you can look this up. I don't think that you're seeing Deion Sanders on international commercials.
Yeah. We have to do some more research. It wasn't worth us. We've already hit an hour. We didn't even get to the other Deion Sanders story. We got to hit this because you're not going to get this anywhere else. Now, this is where me and B are in total agreement. And yes, Deion Sanders is a major jerk, but he's not like. He's just like every other coach in a situation. Any other coach would do this, especially at the college level. But a story came out. Did you see that link I sent you?
I did.
Okay, so there was supposed to be another reporter there today, and this would have been interesting.
Eric?
What's up, E?
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Affleck. Yo, it's so funny. E mentioned Subway. Jonathan Washington mentions Affleck. That was exactly our argument earlier. That was our argument earlier.
Hey, listen, Nick Saban wins that one because Subway ain't even real food.
So
every one of their commercials from this day forward is just going to be an apology.
And ducks can't talk. So there we go. All right.
Except the Affleck duck. That's why you remember him.
All right, let's get to the other side. We're already in overtime, man. We're already in bonus time. We got to wrap this up. Man, we didn't get to the Aaron Rodgers story. We didn't get to the Shannon Sharp thing.
Well, we'll get to that on the member only Patreon or a member only stream.
Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. So the other story, there was supposed to be another reporter there today, and had he got to to speak to Coach Prime. Even if he addressed him properly, Coach Prime may have still walked out.
He would have walked out.
He would have still walked out. So I didn't get that guy's name. It was
I've got it here in just a second. Rashad Milligan.
Okay, Rashad Milligan.
Just a weird mashup of names, mind you.
It makes me think of Mike Milligan from Fargo. But he did a story yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
About a high school.
Yesterday.
Yeah, about a high school recruit.
Quadarius Davis, an incoming 4-star wide receiver.
Yes,
the highest rated recruit that Jackson State has ever had.
Yes. And he got into some trouble, some domestic, what he charged, domestic violence?
I don't have the exact charge in front of me, but I mean, yes, essentially it was domestic violence. The crux of the story here is that the story said that he was going to plead guilty. The kid's lawyer says he's not intending to plead guilty, right? They say that the Clarion Ledger says that they reached out to the lawyer multiple times and never heard back from him before the story was published. And then, Jackson State said they didn't want that reporter coming in and talking to any of the players or coaches. So they barred him from media.
Yeah. So he didn't get a chance to speak. Now, I was a little torn in the beginning because my thing is college players, I don't think they should have to speak to the media at all. They don't get paid. So it should be 100% voluntary. And if not, I just don't think the media should be in their business, right? They're not professionals yet. Coaches, they are professionals. They should be out there speaking to the media. And I don't see a problem. Like he wasn't going to talk to the player. I don't see a problem with this guy asking his question and just Deion saying, "Hey, look, we're not going to discuss that." Right? Yeah. That's fine. I don't think that I don't see why you can't allow that to happen. To me, that's not even that tough of a question in 2021. You know what I'm saying? Like you get stuff like that all the time. It's easy to say, "Hey, look, we're not going to discuss that." We're dealing with that on the side. That's a minor. I think what is he? He's not even 18 yet, is he?
I don't believe it. I believe he's 17. But hang on one second here, as we did get another Streamlabs. We got that from our guy Shug. He says, "Always here to support my favorite sports podcast. Much love. If last year's NBA championship is a Mickey Mouse championship, what is this year's?" And also, I got my Steelers going 11-6 this year. And to answer your question, Shug, we are not currently on Streamlabs. We set up the donation page. Whatever, Shug. All right, whatever. All right, we're not currently on Streamlabs. We're kind of switching over to that, so you'll start seeing those alerts soon.
Yep. We're constantly working, man. You're gonna see a bunch of changes here. Yeah, that was when I was really young. I had to beat it Michael Jackson jacket too. Yeah.
But to answer your question real quick, Shug, last year's championship wasn't a Mickey Mouse championship. And this year's championship it isn't either. Okay. Look, it's unfortunate that so many guys got hurt, but Milwaukee still had to go through and take advantage of it and get it done, and they did that.
Listen, Giannis played great. He earned it. I'm not taking anything away from the man. Listen, you know how I feel, man. I don't care how he did it. He did it. Yeah. That's all that matters. So look, he's a champion. There's no asterisks over here.
Right.
But next year, the Nets are going to run through them. Okay. Oh yeah. So yeah, Prime, not a good look from him. No. And to me, that's an abuse of power right there. That wasn't even that hard to do. Just let him in. You okay over there?
Yeah.
Just let him ask his question. It's one thing if he keeps pressing you about it, right? But you don't. I don't like coaches that try to control media and control a narrative on things. He has his job as a reporter. He reported what he reported, and as long as everything is factual, right? He didn't make up anything. He didn't do anything unethical. It is what it is, man. Leave it alone.
Yeah, look. I mean, I don't like that. I don't like college coaches in general doing that. I'm with you. I don't think that players should have to talk to media. Period. But it is part of Deion's job, and he should, sit there and answer the questions.
Yes.
It's a coward move to say, don't let this guy show up.
Yeah,
And then
yeah. I don't like
and
it.
especially when you combine that with, oh, you didn't call me coach, so I'm leaving. Like he's an arrogant crybaby. Okay.
Yeah,
And that's what it is. And like I said, if I were that reporter and he walked out of the interview because I didn't call him coach, the story the next day would be about, Deion just having thin skin and not having what it takes to be a coach, basically, because you
yeah,
can't stand up to any kind of criticism, you can't stand up to any kind of adversity. What are you doing here?
right. Yeah, that's a good point. But like as a reporter, especially, like, look, we don't know this guy, but if he's trying to build his career, and I'm not saying this will happen with Deion. We don't know how good he's going to be, but if he turns out to be pretty good and his status rises through the years, I'm sure. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be a thing that kills his career, but I'm sure this reporter who's covering college football at some point will love to, cover him some more, or go through these press conferences. If he ends up coaching at Alabama or Clemson or USC or whatever, and you've already set the tone, set the stage for him to say, no, that guy can't interview me.
Yeah, I think now it's less important to have access.
Yes.
In sports media.
Yeah.
Obviously journalists need that for actual journalism stories, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're covering important things, you need to have access to people to be able to do investigative journalism.
Yeah.
We're talking about sports media. He doesn't need access.
Yeah.
I mean, he can hop on YouTube. He can start up a website, start a blog. Like, I mean, Bleacher Report is one of the bigger sites out there now, right? Like that started off as a free site who just got people who clicked on the site to write articles for them. Like they didn't even
I remember that.
Yeah, they didn't even have writers. Like you don't need that kind of infrastructure, and that's why people, the older people in media are so upset, right? Yeah, because people don't have to go to J school. They can come in there without paying their dues and take your jobs and all this stuff. Like, so. Obviously it's great to have that kind of access, to be able to interview interesting people and important people, but it's not necessary, right?
Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna do a few minutes of bonus time. It's gonna be a little bit shorter because we've been a little bit over already, and we gotta get to the overtime show. We did not get to the Aaron Rodgers story. We did not get to our Shannon Sharp story. That will be our Patreon live stream. Okay, that, and we're going to cover some Panthers talk. We're also going to talk some more Ravens position battles that we anticipate happening over training camp. So you guys do not want to miss that. And for as little as $3 a month, you can be a part of that conversation. Okay, patreon.com/LBHT Show. All right, what we got here in the comments?
We got Just Allo saying Giannis is proof you don't need to be a great 3-point shooter to be a great scorer. It's absolutely true. I mean, I think we've seen a couple guys who are, LeBron's not a great 3-point shooter. He's obviously better than Giannis, but he's not a great 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
Man, Giannis is pretty great at everything else, though. And if he comes back next season, because, we both kind of think that this was their one shot as currently constructed to win a title, right? Harden and Kyrie were hurt. LeBron and AD were hurt. Kawhi was hurt. A lot of guys were injured, and they navigated that minefield. The only injury they had in Milwaukee was Dante DiVincenzo. So we kind of think that this was their one shot, and congrats for getting it, but you're not going to make it back. If Giannis comes back next season with a 3-point shot, they can beat anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Yeah. I'm loving the NBA right now, man. I'm loving that these young stars are playing so well. I love it. I mean, look, I'm a Nets fan, and I want my Nets to win, but I love seeing players like Giannis get their rings, man. I love that they're getting it early out the way, because I hate this old head talk of, oh well, how many rings does he have? Or he got to do, he's got to get a ring. Like, I hate that, man. He got his ring. He can just go out there and just play basketball now. All right.
Yeah.
So CP3 not getting that ring, sadly, unless he just hang on the bandwagon and goes to play with the Lakers. Yeah, you have to go play for the vet minimum, because they're still going to need to bring in Dame Lillard.
Listen, and this isn't directed at you, Jonathan. It's directed at everybody. Stop saying he's coming to the Lakers. Stop it. Stop it.
What?
Stop it.
B,
it's not happening.
What if they brought in Bradley Beal and CP3?
What if they brought in Bradley Beal? That'd be great.
You don't want CP3 at all. I mean, look,
I don't want CP3 at all. Look, he's what function does he serve in LA? Because his whole thing is, oh, I'm the leader. You know, I bring leadership and basketball IQ. That's LeBron. LeBron runs that offense. LeBron is a smarter player than Chris Paul.
So what? He doesn't need to be LeBron.
I'm just saying he doesn't bring anything. Like, they need shooting. Chris Paul's not a great shooter. You know, he's not a great defender, which is kind of what they do in LA. He doesn't bring anything to them. Like, if you want to give me Bradley Beal, who's a great shooter and a great scorer, cool. If you want to bring in Damian Lillard, who is just, I mean, he is explosive. You know, he can get 50 almost like in a minute, it seems like. That's great. If you want to say, hey, we'll give you Chris Paul, my response is, for what? Like, it's not nostalgia hour.
Would you rather Russell Westbrook or Chris Paul? Just curious.
Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder.
Pay Dennis Schroeder. Beal's a better fit. Yeah, Beal is a better fit. I didn't say Beal or Chris Paul. I said Beal and Chris Paul. Just Diallo says Chris Paul is a good shooter, but True, not great. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not trying to say he's a bad shooter. I'm saying, you know, if you're going to come in, I want them to bring in a great shooter.
Yeah. CP3 used to be a good defender. He getting long in the tooth. Yep. Tyrannosaurus. Yeah, you're right. Attitude Pop, what's going on, my man?
Read the comment and you'll see what's going on.
Why is a former WNBA player accusing LeBron of sex trafficking? Like, what? When did that happen?
Today.
What player?
I do not know. Not sure. Not sure what player.
What did she say that on? Yeah, I didn't hear about that.
Not sure. Not sure which player it is, but I do see it on Twitter. Honestly, I mean, there's not at this point nothing to kind of back that up with. So I mean, we can't really talk about it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
here's Cappy Pondexter on a what looks like a Instagram live.
Okay, all right, Cappy.
Oh, thank you, Livin.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. I've never heard of that story.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Look at it. Garner says they need an aggressive athletic shooter. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That ain't Russell. Lakers need to add more shooters. You got CP3 and LeBron to play make, but nobody to play make for. Yes. So no CP3. Thank you.
Yeah.
He can continue chilling in the desert and getting credit for leading Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. That's cool.
Yeah. All right, so we are going to get out of here soon. Maybe we'll read a couple more comments. Give you a couple more minutes to put some comments in there. We'll read them real quick.
No legit news sources picked up that LeBron story.
Okay. All right.
So obviously we'll see. I mean, that's a very, very serious accusation. So we'll see if it goes anywhere, if she has anything to back that up, and if so, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. We had who?
We had that guy, but we traded him for a rental in Bullock and a bag of peanuts. Yeah.
So I'm gonna tease a little bit about Uncle Shannon Sharp. I kind of pointed out that he may have had a point, but it wasn't the point that he was trying to make.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm gonna say about that part. But I did want to point out the irony, and Graven pointed out in his video earlier. To talk about Lamar playing with kids and how he's risking injury. Today, some videos floating out of Baker Mayfield. You may have heard of him. He was a number 1 overall pick.
Yes.
And he's also due for a contract, same time as Lamar, because him and Lamar came in the same class. Lamar is reportedly guaranteed to make between 40 and 45 mil per year. We don't know what Baker Mayfield's going to make yet. He's still kind of in that prove it phase. Like, yeah, you're going to get paid, but how much are you going to get paid, right? So this is a big year for Baker Mayfield, former number 1 overall pick. He was at a kids camp today, and what was he doing, B? What was he doing at that camp?
I believe he was out there running routes as a wide receiver and maybe playing a little DB.
Look, I think he's playing a little DB. I think Bernie Kosar was at the camp playing quarterback, and he was covering the kids, and he defended one kid really well. He was real proud of himself, man. I know that's a hard cut.
Listen, I don't like. It's great that you're out there, spending time with the kids and everything, but like being proud of yourself for covering a child is such a Baker Mayfield thing.
It was cute though. It was cool. That's cool.
It makes me laugh.
I like to see that. Right. That was a good thing. I'm being sarcastic. That's a good thing that Baker Mayfield was doing out there with the kids, man. Like, I like to see these guys interact with kids and genuinely have fun. It looks like he was genuinely having fun. But where's the criticism? This is the number one overall pick. And, he's polarizing in his own way. He's not, I don't think he's as popular, but I mean, he's polarizing in his own way. Like he brings that swag to the game. He has that attitude. Could be a little, he's been a little bit controversial. Right. He's in all kinds of commercials. He's in more commercials than LeBron. And look, there's pressure on him. There's a lot of pressure on him. And what are you doing out there? Like, well, look, where's the reporting from Uncle Shay Shay? Like, you don't care about Baker Mayfield. You don't care about him making generational wealth. I don't know.
I did not see that comment. Go ahead and post that again.
Did he make another comment?
He said he made a comment about Lamar and Uncle Shay Shay, but I don't see it. So you can go ahead and post that again.
Yeah.
I see your comment about Tim Duncan, and I am not reading that.
He said Uncle Shay Shay does not like Lamar. Yeah, and it shows.
I think that's correct, and I think it's when I look at Shannon Sharp, I get a kind of a Stephen A. vibe from him, where he's kind of resentful of players who don't accept his influence and his wisdom and all this stuff. Like, he wants to be that guy, and if a player's not on board with that, he doesn't really like it. It's kind of the vibe I get from him.
That's exactly what it is, and that's why Amina El Hassan kind of made that comment about Woj and his relationship with LeBron. There is no relationship, so he kind of bashes LeBron because he doesn't have access to him. And I think Shannon Sharp kind of has a little bit of that in him as well. Like, he sees himself as that guy. What's going on? Keeping it real. Appreciate you coming through, man. He's that guy that that wants to mentor the young players, not just young players, the young stars, right? Yeah. And Lamar seems like he doesn't roll in that crowd. He just kind of sticks to himself, and it's not disrespect, but look, I don't know you, and I don't owe you a damn thing. And it's not disrespect, man. It's just, I don't know you, and I'm gonna stick to myself. And Shannon Sharp needs to understand that, he don't need to be in everybody's business.
Right.
And shout out to Keeping It Real, man. Keeping It Real, man, did a great job this postseason, just live streaming the NBA playoffs. He was doing play-by-play for the finals. He's giving great analysis, man. Like, you gotta make sure you're subscribed to Keeping It Real, and he does the same thing for Ravens content, man. If you're looking for Ravens content, he's gonna give it to you. So we're gonna be collabing with him soon. We keep saying it. We're bad at bringing out people on our show. We gotta get better at that. But Keeping It Real, man, for sure. We're gonna reach out to you soon, and we're gonna do something. All right, Jonathan Washington.
Yeah, Shannon Sharp tries to make it seem like he has Lamar's best interest at heart, and he was only looking out for him, when in reality, if Lamar got hurt, his life is not impacted one bit.
Nope.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we kind of wanted to get to also. Like, specifically for Lamar, if he got hurt, let's say, God forbid, he got hurt, he missed the whole season, his value in Baltimore goes up, not down.
Yes. Yeah.
He will make more money.
Yeah. And the Dak situation tells you that, right? And they were planning to lowball Dak. They were trying to lowball Dak in Dallas. They brought in Andy Dalton to say, hey, look, we got this guy. He's not too bad. He might be able to do some of the things that Dak does. Maybe we don't need Dak, right? I think that was a little, maybe we can get by without Dak if Dalton could come in here and play well. And he got his chance because Dak went down. Dalton went in. He looked awful. And they said, okay, man, give this man whatever you want. Just send him the blank check. Let him fill it out. And let's get this done. We're not going to play any more games.
Yeah, absolutely. Garnet says, "You remember that time Shannon went at Durant and Durant called him out, which made him block him." Yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
That was
like,
a real bad look.
Lamar gives her undisputed, dedicates a segment of him just for Shannon Sharp to say, "I told you this would happen," and then he goes back home and enjoys his normal life. Yeah.
Just Alice is about how Shay Shay is mad at Lamar for not being available for Shay Shay's advice. Yeah,
That's exactly what it
absolutely
is.
agree.
And he said so much in his the show last week, right? Because he was just like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna, I'm you're right, I'm gonna stay out of it." Usually players come to me, right? Like he had to throw that in. Usually players come to me, they reach out to me, and I give them advice. Their agent or whatever reaches out to me, and this is and that, like saying, "Hey, I'm the guy that people come to. You should be thankful that I'm giving you this free advice." But he wasn't trying to give free advice. He was trying to get some clicks, because if you're really trying to give the man advice, you reach out to him personally. You don't go on your show and tweet it out and say all this stuff, not actually talking to him, right? You're talking
the show
about
where you got Julio Jones caught up.
That show. Yeah,
posting having him on the phone, not knowing that he was live.
Yeah. All right, we want to read this last comment and get out of here. Giannis won a chip. Lamar's next. They have similar careers and both get criticized for play style. We didn't even get to the Emmanuel Acho stuff. Man, there's so much to talk about this week. Okay, yeah, I like that. I don't mind being critical of things athletes do, but I do care for consistency, because Lamar is not the first and he won't be the last one to play with kids. But yet we only spotlight him. And we just talked about Baker Mayfield, number 1 pick overall, who is also due for a contract really this year. I mean, they'll probably make him play out the year. He's in limbo. He's in that spot where, they want to keep him, but they don't know how much to pay him. If he has a really good year this year, he's going to get paid. If he has an okay or not so okay year, that's going to get real tricky. So this is a huge year. This is a more important year for Baker Mayfield than it is for Lamar. Lamar's money is set.
Yeah. Acho he was at it again earlier. He said that Giannis can't be the face of the NBA.
We have a lot to talk about at Patreon. Okay, we're gonna do a weekend show, and we're gonna get to all this stuff. So if you want to hear the discussion, or if you just want to go on Twitter and look it up, you can do that too. But if you want to hear our take, I'm just being real about it.
Don't let them know you got options, man.
you got options, but it's just $3. You got $3. Patreon.com/LBHT Show, man. You're going to get all this hot stuff. All right, patrons, give us a few minutes. We're going to start the overtime show here soon. Everybody else, man, I appreciate you. This was a lot of fun. And, training camp is right here. We're going to have a lot to talk about in the upcoming weeks, man. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss the show. And you guys have a great night. Peace out.